Hello there.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another rankings video. In this video I will be ranking all the main Star Wars characters, so let's get right into it. So now there is only one person in the trash tier, and I think we all know who it is. It's Rose. Rose is by far the worst character out of all the Star Wars movies. I think most people dislike her, and if you want to know my reasons, if let's say you like her and you want to know my reasons on why I don't, watch my Star Wars rankings video. I go into detail on why I definitely hate her. Moving on to the bad tier, there are two characters in this one. The first character in this tier is Vice Admiral Haldo. Haldo? I don't really know how you pronounce that. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of her. I think she was made to be hated. I think we were all supposed to, like Poe, and Poe was supposed to be the leader, and then all of a sudden she was, and she made a bunch of terrible bad decisions that got a bunch of people killed. The only reason why she's not in the trash category for me is because at the end she did save most of the rebels, and then she did also destroy a ton of Star Destroyers just by herself. Then the second character in this tier is the Codebreaker, and as you can tell, I really don't like The Last Jedi. But yeah, the Codebreaker is the second person in this tier, and he was just kind of a boring character. There was nothing really special about him. He betrayed Rose and Finn, but I think we all saw that coming, and then I think he's still alive somewhere in the galaxy, probably. But yeah, he was just a boring character, didn't like him. He was just useless, and I think because he spent the majority of his screen time with Rose, that's why he's in the bad tier. Alright, for the next two tiers, I did above average and below average, and I didn't want to just have an average tier that, the majority of the people were in. I wanted to do a little bit below and a little bit above. So let's start with below average. And the first character in the below average tier is General Hux. And I didn't really want to put General Hux in this tier, but I know a lot of people do not like him. And I do like him. He's one of my favorite characters out of the sequels. But the only reason why I put him here is because I know a lot of people don't like him. I would probably put him in above average tier, but I'm also taking other people's opinions into this too, just a little bit. So I put him in the below average tier because of that. He's a great character, I think. I think he was a little bit petty in Rise of Skywalker and, helped the rebels out just so Kylo Ren would fail. But yeah, I actually did like his character, and he was actually a bad guy too. But yeah, General Hux just falls a little bit short of that above average tier, and I put him in the below average tier. Next up, we have Snoke. Snoke is not a great character, and I feel like his potential got wasted. I was honestly shocked that he died in The Last Jedi. Completely shocked. I don't think anyone expected that. The reason why he falls in the below average tier is because Rise of Skywalker kind of just ruined him. He was just this all-powerful Sith almost. And then, in Rise of Skywalker, it turns out he was just a clone being controlled by Palpatine and not even really a character. And that's why I put him in the below average tier. Maybe if he would have lived through Last Jedi and we could have seen him as the actual bad guy, funny at some points, and she was enjoyable to watch at other points. I didn't like her at the beginning of the movie. Towards the end, she became a great character, and I was actually a little bit sad that she died. But at the very beginning, I did not like her, so that's why she's in the below average tier for me. Next, we have Captain Phasma, also known as the biggest disappointment in all of Star Wars history. Captain Phasma could have been one of the coolest Star Wars characters ever, but she was never really in the movies. She was probably on the screen for a total of 5 minutes. Massively disappointing that she died. I think we all expected more from Disney and what they were going to do with Captain Phasma, but we never really got to see anything about her. But yeah, the reason why she falls in the below average tier is because she was by far the most disappointing character ever. Also, I feel like this is a good time to say, I'm sorry that I can't use any videos of any of these characters because Disney will instantly claim my video and take it off YouTube. So that's why you're seeing pictures. But anyway, let's move on with the above average tier. And the first person I have in the above average tier is Qui-Gon Jinn from The Phantom Menace. Qui-Gon Jinn is one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and the only reason I didn't put him in the good or great category is because he's only in one movie. If he was in multiple movies, then sure, yeah, I'd put him above. But since he's only in the one movie, I had to just put him in the above average. If you were to ask 6-year-old me who are my favorite Star Wars characters, I'd tell you Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. The Phantom Menace is really a story about Qui-Gon Jinn. He's the main character, even though Anakin technically is. It was honestly very sad when he died at the end of the movie, and we saw Obi-Wan's reaction to his death, and obviously he was supposed to train Anakin, but now since he was dead, Obi-Wan had to. But yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn is by far one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and that's why he's in the above average category. Next up, we have Jango Fett. Speaking of characters who were only in one movie, Jango Fett is right here because of that reason too. With Jango Fett being in Attack of the Clones, we got to see how all the clones were made, and then we also got to see the origins of Boba Fett that got explored more in the Clone Wars. We got to see a lot of action from Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, like him battling against Obi-Wan, and then we saw many more battles throughout the movie with him in it. And then towards the end, he got his head chopped off by Mace Windu. But yeah, it was super cool to see Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, to see him with the Slave One, and him and Boba traveling together. And it was kind of a little bit sad to see him die towards the end. Next up, we have another character who was only in one movie, and General Grievous. Now, General Grievous, in my opinion, is one of the coolest looking characters and just one of the coolest characters in Star Wars. It's kind of crazy to think that the reason why he has so many lightsabers is because he would literally just kill Jedi and take their lightsabers as a sport. But yeah, General Grievous is awesome, and it's always got me thinking, he was technically supposed to live. Palpatine never wanted him to die technically, and he was never a Sith, so he could have been living in the Empire Age with Darth Vader too. But Obi-Wan shot him and he exploded, so. Next up on the list is Darth Maul. Darth Maul is also one of the coolest characters in Star Wars history. Darth Maul is also, in my opinion, one of the best Star Wars fights ever. Him versus Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan is just a crazy good lightsaber fight. It might be the best, I don't know, you guys can tell me in the comments, but it's definitely a top 5. But anyway, yeah, Obi-Wan chopped them in half, and then he came back in the Clone Wars, and then he was in Rebels, and then he's in Solo, and he's probably going to get a show or something about him in the future. But yeah, I don't think that's the end of Darth Maul. I think we will see a movie about him or something like that. But yeah, right now I put him in the above average category, but if he does get a show or movie or something, he could easily move up to the good or great. Next, we have Mace Windu. Now, Mace Windu is kind of a mean guy. He's a mean Jedi, but he's still a cool and awesome Jedi too. We get to see a decent amount of Mace Windu in the Clone Wars TV show, so that's pretty cool too. I think we also forget how powerful Mace Windu was, that he almost killed Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith, and he would have if it weren't for Anakin, but he got pretty close, and I think that shows how powerful he is, because Yoda, who is supposedly more powerful than him, couldn't even get close to that. But yeah, Mace Windu falls here in the above average category. Next, we have Qi'ra from Solo. Qi'ra was a good character, and I felt like she was a perfect fit for the Solo movie. I still wonder what ends up happening with her, if she's still alive past Solo. I wonder if she is alive still after Return of the Jedi. But I guess we won't really know. She was a character that really did surprise me with all her combat skills and stuff, and how she killed a decent amount of people with whatever karate thing she was doing. I don't know what it was. But yeah, she surprised me with her skills in fighting that she had. But yeah, I think she was a great fit in the Solo movie, and I'm still curious on what happens to her and Maul after Solo. Next up, we have Count Dooku. Now, Count Dooku does appear in 2 movies, but he's barely in Revenge of the Sith, as he gets his head chopped off within the first 10 minutes. But yeah, Count Dooku is a cool character, I guess. He's a little bit boring, but he's also cool at the same time, if that makes sense. Count Dooku is, I think, just the third character in Star Wars to use Force Lightning. Palpatine is one, he is the second, and then Rey is the third. But yeah, we don't really see Force Lightning very much at all, but he sure used it. We also get to see how powerful he is as he takes on Obi-Wan and Anakin, beats them both, and then has to fight Yoda and lives without really a scratch on him and flies away. But then, of course, later when Anakin's fully trained, Anakin easily chops off his head. But yeah, that's all I got for Count Dooku in the above average category. Next we have Maz Kanata. I think I said that right. Maz was a great addition to the sequels, and she was a great character, and I think everyone likes her. Maz was the best in The Force Awakens. She was not even really in Last Jedi, and then she was kind of just forgettable in Rise of Skywalker, but for the time that she did have in The Force Awakens, she was a really great character, and I think we all enjoyed her being in that movie. And that will do it for the above average tier. I just realized I'm taking a little bit longer than I wanted to, so I'm going to go through the good tier a little bit quicker than normal. Also, this is a great time to say, hey, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Actually, I'll let you in on a little secret. I really don't care if you're subscribed. Like, subscribers don't really mean anything. As long as you're watching my videos, I'm happy with it. So you know what? I take that back. Don't subscribe. Just watch my videos and I'll be happy with it. Alright, starting off with the good tier is Chewbacca. And Chewbacca is probably the best out of all the good tier. We all know Chewbacca. We all love Chewbacca. He's been in a total of, I think, 7 movies, because he was in Revenge of the Sith and then every other movie since then. But yeah, we all love Chewbacca. I don't really have to explain why he's in the good category, so let's move on with Ahsoka. And Ahsoka is also another great character. If you are a Clone Wars fan, you already know why I put Ahsoka in the good category. And if you're really not a Clone Wars fan, then you maybe don't know much about her, but she's a great character. If you haven't seen the Clone Wars, go watch it. It's a great show. But yeah, if you did watch the Clone Wars, then you already know why she's in this category too. Next in the good tier, we have Yoda. And Yoda is a great character. Yoda tells us a bunch of great quotes and lines and everything. I think Yoda is one of the most liked characters out of all of Star Wars. But yeah, like Ahsoka and Chewbacca, there's not really much to explain here. Yoda's a great character. Let's move on with Rey. And if you don't think Rey belongs here, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you could even argue that she belongs in the great tier or even the best tier if you wanted to, but I know somebody in the comments is going to be telling me how Rey belongs in the bad tier, and you're 100% wrong. I'm not saying Rey is a great character or the best character. I'm just saying she needs more credit than what she's getting. I think when we look back 5 years from now on the sequels, I think we'll appreciate them a little bit more, or at least the Rise of Skywalker and the Force Awakens, not the Last Jedi. But yeah, Rey's a great character. She's the only reason why the Last Jedi is a watchable movie is because of her training with Luke and her conflict with Kylo Ren. But yeah, Rey's a good character. I 100% believe she belongs in this tier. So let's move on with the next character, and Princess Leia. Princess Leia is a classic character. She's been in 6 different movies. We all know her. We all love her. Princess Leia is one of those characters that I think actually did get an upgrade from the original trilogy to the sequels. In the sequels, I don't know. I just like her better in the sequels, actually. I love the relationship she has with Kylo Ren and even with Han Solo. But yeah, overall, Princess Leia is a good character. She 100% belongs in this tier. And let's move on with Finn. Finn was a disappointing character just a little bit. I think we all expected him to be a Jedi with Rey. I can remember going into The Last Jedi before any trailers came out or anything. I thought that movie was going to be about Luke training Rey and Finn, but it was just Rey. And it's clear in Rise of Skywalker that Finn is Force sensitive, so why wasn't he a Jedi at all? And chances are he's never going to be a Jedi. It's just going to be a loose end. But yeah, disappointed that Finn wasn't a Jedi. Also, I could talk about how he should have died in The Last Jedi, but I've already talked about that in my Star Wars rankings video. And next up we have Jyn Erso. Jyn Erso is a great character from one of my most favorite Star Wars movies with Rogue One. The relationship she has with her dad, who is obviously an Imperial scientist, is a great story to tell. We see that she's not really a rebel. I mean, she doesn't like the Empire, but she doesn't really fight for the rebellion. She honestly saved the entire galaxy technically by helping getting the plans to Princess Leia to tell Obi-Wan that she needs her help and blah blah blah, and then the story goes on. But yeah, Jyn Erso really did save the galaxy in a way. But yeah, Jyn Erso is a great character, and let's move on with the next person in this category with the Mandalorian. Mando is a great character. We all love him. He's cool, he's got cool armor, he's good with guns and flamethrowers and everything else. I think almost every Star Wars fan likes The Mandalorian, and I'm, Baby Yoda's cool and all, but I watch the show because of him, not Grogu. But yeah, I'm trying to make this quick, so let's move on with the next person in the good tier with Ezra Bridger. Ezra's a great character from Rebels, but yeah, there's not a ton to say about him. He's still alive, and I think we will get to see a little bit about him in the new Ahsoka show that will be coming out soon. But yeah, I'm excited to see where he goes and what he does after The Mandalorian, assuming that he is still alive. And if he does appear in a show or a movie sometime soon, he does have the potential to move up in this tier list. But yeah, this is where I have him for now. So let's move on with Grogu. Grogu is a good character. He's not the best, but he's a good character. I think most people watch The Mandalorian because of him. I'm still very excited to see what happens with him in Mandalorian Season 3. And he has instantly become one of the most loved Star Wars characters ever. And let's move on with Lando Calrissian. Lando is a great character, and in Return of the Jedi he even blows up the second Death Star. In my opinion, he is the best in Return of the Jedi, and he was a little bit disappointing in the sequels considering how he was only in one movie and didn't really do much in that movie. But because of Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith, that's why he is in the good tier. And next we have Padme Amidala. Padme is in 3 movies, and she is a good character too. Her character basically makes Anakin and Darth Vader great characters, and if she weren't in Star Wars, they wouldn't be as cool. But yeah, Padme is a great character. We do get to see a lot of action from her in this Clone Wars TV show, like most of the prequel characters. But yeah, this is where I have her. And next up on this list is Boba Fett. Boba Fett is one of the coolest characters in Star Wars history, and seeing his return in the Mandalorian TV show is great. And it looks like we'll be getting some sort of TV show or movie with him sometime soon, and I think we are all looking forward to that. But yeah, Boba Fett has been in Star Wars since the very beginning, and he is one of the best characters, he's one of the most iconic characters, and that's why he's in this tier. Also, I just want to say that Saw Gerrera and Zori Bliss are not supposed to be in this video, and I didn't even realize I put them in here at all. Those are not their rankings, I'm not ranking them, sorry, I don't know why they're in here. And now to start off the great tier is Luke Skywalker. And Luke Skywalker is a classic. He might be your favorite character. He's not my favorite character. But Luke Skywalker is a great character, and he was easily going to go in this tier or the next tier. But yeah, we all know why he would be in this tier. I don't really have to explain it, so let's just move on. Next we have one of my favorite characters from the sequel trilogy, BB-8. BB-8 is a great character, he's fun, he's funny, and he's just a character full of action. But yeah, I don't think anyone dislikes BB-8. BB-8 is a great character, and as you're going to see here, there's a lot of droids in the next category, in this category. That's just because droids are great. Who doesn't like droids? But next up we have Han Solo. We all know why Han Solo is here, one of the most iconic characters ever. The best smuggler in the galaxy. Han Solo is one of my favorite characters, and he might be your favorite character, and yeah, he's just a great character, so that's why he's in this tier. Next we have Poe Dameron, and this might be like super controversial, but I put Poe here. I really liked Poe as a character. I really liked him in Rise of Skywalker, how he was just like a great pilot. Poe's a great character. He really does nothing wrong. In all 3 movies, he makes good decisions, and he's like the only character that really stays consistent. In The Last Jedi, he was trying to do the right thing the entire time, and usually people aren't letting him, or he can't, but he's always trying to do the right thing. And for that reason, he's in this category. And next we have C-3PO, and C-3PO is a great character. Who doesn't like C-3PO? He's been in every movie, I think. And yeah, he's a great character. Oh, I take that back. He wasn't in Solo. But yeah, he's a great character. We all know him. We all love him. My favorite movie with him is Rise of Skywalker, because he's actually like in the movie a lot. But yeah, that's where he ends up in this video. Next we have Palpatine, and Palpatine is the main villain throughout the entire saga, and he's a great villain. I mean, he's definitely a better villain in the prequels and the original trilogy, because that's where he's supposed to be, and then they kind of just threw him into the sequel trilogy. But yeah, he's a great character. We really get to see 2 sides of him from the prequels, where he's like a politician and not a 100% evil person. And then by the time we get to the original trilogy, he's just a person of evil. But yeah, he's the last person in the great category. Let's move on to the best tier. And in the best tier, I have kind of surprisingly a lot of characters. But let's start off with the only sequels person in this tier, with Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is my favorite character from the sequel trilogy. I think we all love Kylo Ren, or Ben Solo, whichever one you want to call him. But yeah, Kylo Ren is a great character. They tried to make him look scary, and I guess he was, but more in the first one than the last 2 sequel movies. But yeah, he's just like a really cool character. He's not really a consistent character, but he changes so that, like, he's not supposed to be consistent. And towards the end, in Rise of Skywalker, we really get to see him as not technically a Jedi, but as a good guy, holding, I think, his mom's lightsaber. And it's just like a really satisfying thing to see him on the light side fighting with Rey. But yeah, by far the best character out of the sequel trilogy, and that's why he's in this category. And the next 2 characters on this list are really the same character, with Anakin and Darth Vader. Anakin is one of the best characters in cinematic history, or Darth Vader is one of the best characters in cinematic history as far as I'm concerned. He's great in the prequels, he's great in the original trilogy. Yeah, I don't have to explain this at all. Every Star Wars fan, if they're making a tier list out of all the same characters, everyone is going to put Anakin and Darth Vader in their top category. But yeah, let's move on with my favorite character out of all of Star Wars.
General Kenobi!
I mean, the guy is literally the intro to every video I make. Obi-Wan is by far my favorite character. He became my favorite character while watching the Clone Wars show. That's when he became my favorite character. I love him in the movies. I love him even more in the Clone Wars show. And I'm super excited to see him in his own show coming soon. But I also think most people will put Obi-Wan in the best category too. And next in the best category is R2-D2. R2-D2 is a classic. He's in every movie except Solo. He is important in every movie. Without him, the good guys would have failed about 1,000 times. I think he has saved the good guys in every single movie. Like, I can think of it in Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Like, every movie, I think he has saved them at some point. But yeah, R2-D2 is a great character. Nobody dislikes R2-D2. And next, this one might be a little bit controversial, but I got K2SO, and K2SO is the best droid ever, maybe? I don't know, he's super funny. He's actually very important to the Rogue One movie. It's sad when he dies, but yeah, he's just a great character. He's a funny character, and I think we were all impressed on like how good his skills were, if that was shooting or whatever it was. He was good at everything he did, and he was a great character. I like the best character maybe, but yeah, I really liked him. And he's the last character in this video that I'm going to rank. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I know this has kind of been a long video, so if you're still watching to this point, thank you so much. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye!
Watch me turn up, roll up, yeah, you know I burn up.